Winston was reading the encyclopedia for the 5th time this year because he had nothing better to do with his time. Because he already memorized the section on eugenics, his mind began to wander.
He wondered what his life would be like if he wasn't such a nerd, sitting home alone all the time. He began to think of what his life would be like if he was able to transform into something much greater.
This sparked an idea! He began to compile a blueprint to build a machine capable of engineering him to be something more. He needed parts for the machine, so he rampaged through his house and began to disassemble his vacuum cleaner, and then his blender. When the parts were not sufficient enough, he disassembled his television, and lastly, his beloved electronic dictionary. He now had the parts necessary to create the machine needed to make him a superhero.
After days of hard work, sweat, love, and nerd skills, he had finally built his machine. I shall call it the Magnificent Obstinarfinator, he proclaimed.
The only flaw in his brilliant invention was that the effects would only last from sunrise to sunset. He chose his day wisely and chose June 21st, as it was the longest day of the year and was only a week away.
He began to design his costume so as not to reveal his identity to the world on this magnificent day. He decided to go with a red cape, blue bodysuit, and red spandex tidy whities. Very tasteful.
June 21st arrived before he knew it. The night before, he had everything planned out. He set his alarm for an hour before sunrise. When he woke, he went downstairs, put on his costume, and entered the Magnificent Obstinarfinator.
He turned the dials, and just as the sun began to peer over the horizon, he started the machine. He began to go through his metamorphosis. When he stepped out of the machine, he was a new man, and a mighty fine one at that. He had evolved into something completely different, something incredible, that words fail to describe, yet he was still the same person deep down.
He decided to make the most of his time as a superhero and ventured out into the world. Since he had not left his house in years, he was shocked to see the new changes in the town. New developments had been put up, houses had been renovated, and the crime in the once docile neighborhood was quite obvious. He decided to make it his mission to save this town from crime with the time he had as a superhero.
He jumped into the air and flew around town, seeking out some goons to apprehend. He soon found a criminal in an alley trying to mug an innocent man. Winston landed and used his heat vision to destroy the enemy. The innocent man stood there stunned that he was saved. Winston flew away, feeling immensely satisfied. Soon enough, he spotted a man trying to kidnap a girl. Winston kicked him in the throat with his super strength and a well-aimed kick. The man fell to the ground and whimpered while Winston saved the girl and flew away with her. As they looked into each other's eyes, it was love at first sight, but Winston was afraid that she would not love him once he changed back to the person he really was. He told her his secret, that he would change by the end of the day, but she replied that as long as he remained the same on the inside, she would love him all the same.
The criminals around town hastily left when they heard rumors of a superpowered vigilante protecting the citizens and destroying the criminals. Knowing the town was safe, Winston spent the rest of the day with his damsel. That night, when he changed back, she looked into his eyes and saw the same person who had rescued her, and they lived happily ever after.
Extraordinary is even more than any that you adore. Can love is all that I can give to you.